we are going to see the fusion of carpels. Okay, for example, one ovary is there in one flower, only one carpel is there, no problem. That is single carpel, individual. But sometimes the ovary has two carpels, three carpels, four carpels, five carpels, more than five carpels. Whether the carpels are free from each other without touching each other, or they are fused, we have to see. They are touching. Touching means fused. Now we have to see in this topic whether the carpels are side by side touching or not, fused or not. That is called the fusion of carpels. First we will take, only two will be there. One is apocarpus. Now in that name, corpus means carpels, apo means free. Now in this particular type, all the carpels are free from each other, side by side, they are not touching. One carpel is not touching with the other carpel wall. That is called the apocarpus. A pistil contains two or more carpels, distinct carpels. Okay, what is the meaning of distinct carpels? Separate carpels. That is the meaning for distinct carpels. Sometimes as per the English meaning, if you take distinct means very clear. Okay, very clearly visible, that is called. But here it is clearly visible and independently present. That is called a distinct carpels. Okay, two or more distinct carpels. Example, annona. Now we are coming to the next one, syncarpus, S-Y-N. Syn means fused, corpus means carpels. The carpels side walls are fused, that is called a syncarpus. A pistil contains two or more carpels. A pistil contains two or more carpels, which are connate, C-O-N-N-A-T-E, C-O-N-N-A-T-E, connate. Connate means fused. The margin, the side walls are fusing with each other. That is called a syncarpus. Example, citrus. Citrus means orange, lemon, etc. Tomato. Even in the tomato, when you cut crosswise, you can find some chambers, but all the chambers are fused. Okay, that is called. So, syncarpus. In the syncarpus, carpels are fused side by side. In the apocarpus, carpels are totally free. They are not touching with each other. Now we are coming to this apocarpus, one simple diagrammatic representation. Imagine that ovary is there. In the ovary, three carpels are there. Now this is one carpel. I told you the carpel wall is green. Now here, this is one carpel, second carpel, third carpel. They are not touching with each other. They are free from each other. It is called the apocarpus. Outer wall will be there. Outer wall will be present. Then another one you are taking, syncarpus. Okay, now three carpels. This is the outer wall. Okay, outer wall is present. Now this is one carpel. The next carpel is fused. The next carpel, margin to margin, they are fused. Margin to margin. So everything fused together, giving one chamber. Now this is called a fused carpel, syncarpus. That is only we are taking. Now even in this example also we can say, this is the cross section of the ovary. In that this is one carpel, second, third, fourth. So four carpels are there. So it is a tetracarpellary ovary. In the tetracarpellary, the side walls are fused. Now this is the side wall for this as well as this. Both are fused. Here also the side walls are fused. They are not present separately. So this is also called what? Syncarpus. Okay, this is called a syncarpus. So apocarpus and syncarpus we have completed. Now we are coming to number of locules in the ovary or in the carpels. Okay, now we are going to see, even I have separated diagrams for this to make you to understand very easily, but according to the textbook we will go through. What is the meaning of carpel? Just now I told you. When you take the cross section, some green walls are forming chambers, cavities. Okay, the green wall, outer wall, we can call it as carpel. Even in the previous diagram we have seen carpel. Each carpel is having one green color outer wall. That is carpel. What is the meaning of locule? Now the carpel is leaving a space. The carpel is encircling one space. The cavity, the space is called a locule. The space is called a locule. Now the locules, number of locules we are going to study. That only here it is given. Cavities. The space is called what? Cavity. For example, we are building a room. Okay, in the building, one room we are constructing. Four side the brick wall will be there, but at the center wide space is there. The outer one is called wall, we are telling, but the inner one is called a space. Same way the cavity present within one carpel is called a locule. The space, the cavity is also called a chamber. The chambers in the ovary. Okay, now we will take bilocular ovary. Okay, what is the meaning of bilocular? So two carpels are there, two cavities will be present. Now this is one carpel. Okay, this is one carpel completely. Now this is leaving one wide cavity here. It is enclosing one wide cavity. This cavity is called a locule. Similarly, one more. This is another one carpel, green color wall, you can see. Now the green color wall is enclosing a cavity. This cavity is called what? Locule. Now these are all the ovules that we did not take. The cavity only we have to take. Okay. So how many cavities are there? Two. So bilocular ovary. The next one, trilocular ovary. Now this is one carpel enclosing one cavity. This is a second carpel enclosing another one cavity. Like that, three carpels, three cavities are enclosed. So if the ovary is having three cavities, it is called a trilocular ovary. Locule means cavity. Tetra, four cavities will be there. Penta, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now L, it is given. L means locule. So 5 locules are present. Actually 5 carpels are enclosing 5 locules. So pentalocular ovary. Now see that number of locules. Unilocular ovary, only one cavity will be present with one chamber. Okay, example P, groundnut. Bilocular, not this one, starting from this. Bilocular ovary with two chambers inside. Example, that is mustard. Okay, then Cassandra. Okay, Cassandra. These are the two examples. Trilocular ovary. Ovary with the three chambers or three cavities. Example, banana. Euphorbia, one family, one group, one type called Euphorbia. Now all these things are having three locules. So unilocular, bilocular, trilocular, but it is going on like this: tetralocular, pentalocular, multilocular. Meaning that is. Now this is the diagram what I have drawn. Carpels and locules relationship. The carpels and locules are related with each other. One carpel is enclosing one cavity. Okay, that is a relationship. One carpel, one cavity. Two carpels, two cavities. Three carpels, three cavities, like that. Now we will take, this is one ovary, outer wall. Here one carpel is there. Now this is the carpel. Okay, it is normally green in color, the carpel. It is enclosing only one cavity, wide cavity, it is called a locule. So one carpel, one locule. Monocarpellary unilocular ovary. By seeing the picture itself, we can say monocarpellary unilocular ovary. Now we have to take this ovary. This is the cross section of the ovary. Inside, this is one green wall. This is another one green wall. Both are touching here, fused here. So two carpels are there. Because of the presence of two carpels, bicarpellary ovary. Each carpel is enclosing a big cavity. Here also one, here also one. Two cavities are there. Bilocular, bicarpellary, bilocular. Similarly, tricarpellary, one carpel, second carpel, third carpel, three cavities. Okay, so trilocular, tricarpellary, trilocular ovary. Same thing, I did not explain about it. Four carpels are there, tetracarpellary. Four cavities are present, tetralocular. Like that, penta, 5. 5 carpels, okay. Then 5 cavities are present. Pentacarpellary, pentalocular ovary. Now we are going to see another one, very important. Sometimes, previous slide what we have studied, how many carpels are there? There are many number of cavities. That is the relationship. Okay, monocarpellary, unilocular, bicarpellary, bilocular, like that only will come. But now it is different. Whatever the number of carpels may be, cavity number is only one. Whatever the number of cavities may be, the locule number is only one. For example, in the first diagram, now I have drawn two carpels here, one carpel here, one carpel here, both are fused at their margin. leaving a single large cavity. So two carpels are there, bicarpellary. This is one carpel, this is another one carpel. So bicarpellary ovary, no doubt. But how many cavities are present inside? Only one cavity is present, that is unilocular. Bicarpellary, unilocular. You come to this one, cross section of the ovary. This is one carpel. This is the second carpel, the third carpel. Margin to margin, they are fused. So since three carpels are present, it is called a tricarpellary ovary. But all the three carpels joined together enclose one large cavity, only one large cavity. This large cavity is called a unilocular, single locule. So tricarpellary unilocular ovary. Similarly, tetracarpellary unilocular ovary. So everything will be ending with unilocular. Then this is monocarpellary, one carpel, okay. Like that, even if you take tetracarpellary, unilocular, pentacarpellary, unilocular, like that it is going on. Now another one important topic. This is the ovary. Now we are taking the section. This is one carpel, okay, green color, one carpel. Now actually it is enclosing a large cavity. As I told already, we are constructing one building, in that one room. All the four sides brick wall will be present. So it is one room, one cavity, one space is there. But for example, what we are doing, we want to separate it, we want to divide that room into two portions temporarily, not permanently. What we can do, now a lot of ways are there. Either we can keep one screen in between, in the middle of the room. So that side one chamber, this side one chamber. Or we can take plywood and we can stretch the plywood. Okay, we can stretch with the help of carpenter and we can make partition at the center. But the screen or plywood is not the original wall. It is not the original brick wall. So this partition is false partition, false, not permanent, temporary. Anytime we can remove. Anytime we can remove. So actually the room is one, but we divided into two chambers. Similarly, here also this is one carpel, only one cavity is there. But that cavity is divided into two chambers by a false septum, like plywood. It is a false septum. A cross wall is formed, but this cross wall, the false septum, will not be green in color. If it is green in color, we will get confusion. But it will not be green in color, it will be colorless wall. So you can understand that it is not the original carpel wall. So this is the false septum. Once the false septum is growing here, the single locule is now divided into two cavities. So what we can tell is monocarpellary ovary is only one carpel. But how many locules are there? Bilocular ovary, di or bi, bilocular ovary. Monocarpellary dilocular ovary. Same way I am taking one more. Now two carpels are present. This is one carpel, green in color. This is the second carpel. It is also green in color. So bicarpellary ovary, no doubt. Bicarpellary ovary. Actually it is enclosing two large cavities. We are expecting bilocular. But in each locule at the center one false septum is grown. Here one false septum dividing this locule into two cavities. Here also one false septum dividing the cavity into two chambers. So now totally how many cavities are there? We have to see. 4 cavities. So it is a bicarpellary ovary but tetralocular ovary. Tetralocular. So how many carpels are there? The locules number will be doubled. That is called, that is another one characteristic feature of the ovary carpels. Okay, the ovary is completed. Okay, now we are coming to types of style. Okay, we are coming to the next one, types of style. Okay, then now style, already I told you, ovary, above the ovary there is a narrow tube. There is a narrow tube. This narrow tube is called a style. At the tip of the style, a small bulging portion is there, that is called a stigma. Now in this topic we are going to study only about the style. We are not studying about the ovary. We are not going to study about the stigma. Only this style. In the style different types will be there. In some the style will be very long. In some cases, in some flowers the style will be shorter. In some it will be stout. In some it will be very thin and long, like that. So differences will be there. So that only we are going to study in this topic. The stalk of the pistil. connecting the ovary and stigma. So what is the style? Suppose they are asking, what is a style? Style is the stalk of the pistil. Okay, it's a long stalk of the pistil. It is connecting ovary and stigma. It is connecting ovary and stigma. That is the meaning for style. Now there are 4 different types of styles are there. 4 different types of styles. First one is called simple style. Now the style what I have drawn is a simple style. It is a simple long tube. No branches, no special features, nothing. It is called unbranched style. Simple style is unbranched style. Okay, the second one is bifid style. Now bi means 2. F-I-D, fid. Fid means branches. So now I am taking the second diagram. This is the style starting from the top of the ovary. It is a style, it is coming up, but at the tip of the style it is divided into 2 branches. Each branch is bearing one stigma. Stigma we did not bother about it. So the style is divided into 2 branches. That is called bifid style. Now you have to add the word simple. Style, simple style, bifid style. That means a style has 2 branches. The picture is given here. These are the pictures. It is not there in our book, but I am giving this. Then the next one is gyno-basic style. Now you have to understand what is the meaning of gyno-basic. Basic means base. Okay, base means bottom. Okay, basic means what? Base or bottom. Gyno means gynecium. But gynecium, 3 parts are there. Ovary, style, stigma. Now ovary is very important part. So gyno. Gyno means ovary. Base, ovary. Ovary base. That we are understanding from this. Gyno basic style. That means the style is arising from the base of the ovary. Now this is the picture. Okay, this is the picture. Now this is the ovary. But actually we are expecting this style arising here, but it is not arising here. The style is arising at the base of the ovary, bottom of the ovary it is coming. It is going around the ovary. Then it is becoming straight and going up, growing up. So see that the style is arising from the base of the ovary. Base of the ovary, that is called a gyno-basic style. The next one is lateral style. You see that? Lateral style. Arising from the side of the ovary. In the diagram itself we can understand. This is the ovary. Now this is the side, either this side or this side. This is the side of the ovary. The style is arising from the side, then it is coming up, then it is growing straight. So since the style is arising from one side of the ovary, either this side or this side, then it is called lateral style. Arising from the side of the ovary. Now we are coming to stigma. Ovary is completed. In the ovary, carpels are there, locules are there. The relationship between carpels and locules, everything is over. Then style, 4 types of styles we have completed. Now we are coming to the next one, stigma. I already told you, stigma is the terminal portion of the style. Okay, terminal. It is a terminal portion of the gynecium. Ovary, style, stigma. Okay. A small bulgy structure found on the tip of the style. That is the meaning for stigma. Stigma is a small bulgy structure found on the tip of the style. Suppose they are asking 2 more questions. What is stigma? You can say stigma is a. You can complete the sentence. Okay. There are 4 types of stigma. There are 4 types of stigma. We are going to see what are they. Okay. What are the 4 different types? First one is discoidal stigma. In the name itself we can understand disc shape. Disc is something flattened. Disc is something flattened. For example, CD we are having. Okay, we are playing a lot of music and all. The CD is there. Okay, the CD is a flattened circular plate. You know, like that. So the discoidal means disc shaped stigma. Now this is the style. A small portion I am taking, and at the tip of the stigma style, a stigma is present, but the stigma is flattened and circular. This flattened and circular. This is called a disc shaped discoidal. Okay, the second type we are going to see capitate. What is the meaning of capitate? It is pear-like head. It appears like head. Okay, it appears like head. That is called a capitate. Now this is the style. tip of the style, stigma is present. The stigma is more or less incomplete spherical. It is not a complete spherical, incomplete spherical. It may be hemispherical or it may be 2/3 of the spherical. Okay, that is, see that diagram, which is here it is a flattened, then it is a forming a bulging here. That is a half or hemispherical. That is called a capitate stigma. Okay, the next one, the third one is globose. Globe shape, that is spherical shaped. The stigma is a spherical in shape. Now this is the style, tip of the style. So on the tip of the style, a spherical shaped stigma will be present. A spherical shaped stigma. Then the fourth type of stigma is plumose. Actually that spelling plu, plu, but we have to pronounce it as plumose. Now plumose means a hairy. The stigma is having hair-like outer surface, hairy. It can be discoidal, or it can be capitate, or it can be globose, anything. The shape can be anything. But at the tip of the stigma, around the stigma, a number of hair-like structures will be present. Now see that? It is one spherical stigma, a number of hair-like structures will be present. Feather-like structures will be there. Even if it is a branch, this is a style, it is divided to two stigmas are there. Each stigma is having fine hair-like structures. That is called a feathery. Okay, feathery or hairy. Plumose, hairy stigma. Hair-like stigma will be there. Now we have to see what is the importance of stigma. What is the importance of stigma? Why the stigma is there? Okay, there is one slide before, please. One slide before. Yes. Now we are taking this ovary style stigma. Okay, different type. Now this stigma is a place where the pollen grains from the anther will come and attach. So it is a place where the pollen grains are received. So that is the stigma, importance of stigma. Imagine that from other flower, either by wind or with the help of insects, pollen grains are coming, male reproductive cells are coming. If they happen to touch the stigma, they will attach, they will stick. Then further germination will take place. Suppose the pollen grains are touching the style. Pollen grains are directly touching the ovary. They cannot enter, they cannot germinate, they cannot, everything will go as waste. So the pollen grains should come and fall on the stigma. So the stigma is the receptor of the pollen grains, receptor of pollen grains, receiving the pollen grains. Now it is a giving suitable condition for the pollen grains to germinate, to go and fertilize the ovum or ovules. Okay, so that is the importance of stigma. They can be whatever the shape may be, whatever, even if it is feathery or hairy, that is they are receiving the pollen grains. Next. Okay, now we are coming to internodes of thalamus. Okay, the next one is what? Internodes of thalamus. First, already we have studied what is thalamus. Already we have studied. Thalamus means a flower stalk is there, the stalk of the flower. It is called a pedicel. At the tip of the pedicel, there is a bulging portion. Now, in my diagram, I have taken. This is the stalk. The stalk is called a pedicel. At the tip of the pedicel, there is a bulging portion. It may be spherical or slightly oval, whatever it is. That bulging portion is called a thalamus. It is also called a torus. In the introduction of flower, I have drawn diagrams. I explained about it. Now, this is the thalamus. On the thalamus only, the four whorls are arranged. What are the four whorls? Outer whorl called the calyx, second inner whorl corolla, third inner whorl stamens, that is the androecium, and the center whorl, just before we have studied, gynoecium. All are arranged. Okay, so between the whorls, four whorls, they are arranged circular. Outer circle, second circle, third circle, center point. They are arranged in circles, Between the two circles of two whorls, some space will be present, some gap. That only we are going to study as internode. Now, what is the meaning of internode? It is the gap between the two whorls of a flower. It is a gap between the two whorls of a flower. Okay, internodes of thalamus. Internodes of thalamus. The first one we are going to see anthophore. Okay, first one we are going to see anthophore. What is the meaning of anthophore? We have to see a wide space between. Now, wide between I have given The internode is wide. That is the meaning. The internode. That means a wide space is present between calyx and corolla. You know calyx made up of sepals, green in color, outermost whorl. The second whorl is corolla, made up of petals, okay, and beautifully colored. So between the outer calyx and the next inner corolla, the space will be there. Now this is the diagram for anthophore. Now the pictures are not there in the book, so I have drawn. Now this is the outer whorl. What is that called? The calyx. Actually I have drawn sectional view, so all around the sepals will be there. Now here one, front, back also. So sepals will be there. This is called the calyx. Now these are all the cross sections of the petals. So between corolla and calyx, wide gap is present. Now this is called the anthophore. Okay, this is called the anthophore. Okay, the second one we are going to study androphore. Now see that androecium, androphore. The internode is wide between corolla and androecium. See the next diagram. The outer calyx is there. Very close to that corolla is there, but androecium, stamens are there. Between the corolla and androecium, there is a wide gap. Now the gap is there. Now this is the gap. Here also this side gap. So that is called androphore. That condition is called what? Androphore. That is internode space, or the internode is wide between corolla and androecium. Now we are coming to the third one, gynophore. Gynophore. Now it is the internode is wide between androecium and gynoecium. Go to the third diagram. Now this is the third diagram. Now calyx is there, very close to that next whorl, corolla is there, very close to that next whorl, androecium is there, but between androecium and gynoecium there is a wide gap. Between androecium and gynoecium there is a wide gap. So this condition is called gynophore, gynoecium. Okay, gynophore. Then the last one we are going to study, gynandrophore. See that, gynandrophore. That means gynophore and androphore together, we have to say. That is together. Now we are coming to this last picture. Now the outer calyx is there. The next very close to that corolla are there. Both are arranged very closer. But between the corolla and the androecium, here androecium is there. There is a gap. So this is actually androphore. But from the androecium up to gynoecium, if you take, again wide space is there. Two wide spaces. But in all others only one place. But here two wide spaces there. One space is between corolla and androecium. Another one wide space is there between androecium and gynoecium. That is called gynandrophore. Okay, gynandrophore. A wide space is present between corolla and androecium. That is corolla and androecium. And androecium and gynoecium. Androecium and gynoecium. That is called gynandrophore. These are the various what is that space present between the whorls. Now we are coming to the next one, position of the ovary. Okay, on the thalamus, where the ovary is situated. Where the ovary is situated. Now ovary is there. Other floral parts are also there. Okay, what are they? Calyx, corolla, androecium. Other three also present. What is the relationship in the position of the four whorls? We have to see. That is called the position of the ovary. Based on that, where the ovary is present. That way. Now superior ovary, we are taking superior ovary. That means the ovary is present above all other floral parts. Now see this diagrammatic representation. Now we are taking vertical section of the flower. Now this is the calyx, outer whorl. Okay, calyx. Next one, corolla. Above that androecium is there. Okay, stamens are there. But ovary, style and stigma. Now you have to take the bottom of the ovary, bottom of the stamens, bottom of the petals, bottom of the sepals. But if you take the bottom and observe, the ovary is in the top, at the top of all the other parts. That is called a superior ovary. The ovary is situated above all other floral parts. All other floral parts. That is called a superior ovary. Next we are coming to inferior ovary, opposite of that. Inferior ovary, opposite. Ovary is present below the other floral parts. Now this is the example for that. Now this is the stalk, ovary is present. Now see that at the side near the top of the ovary, sepals are there. petals are present, androecium is also present. So ovary bottom is down, but the other floral parts bottom will be higher in position. So it is called the inferior ovary. It is called the inferior ovary. The last one is called, that is semi-inferior or off-inferior. What is the meaning of semi-inferior or off-inferior ovary? Now this is the ovary. Okay, all other floral parts are attached exactly in the middle of the ovary at the side. Exactly in the middle. So it is not below, it is not above, exactly half of that. So that is called a half-inferior or semi-inferior ovary. So different flowers are having different type of this. So only three types: superior, inferior, semi-inferior or semi-superior. Anyway we can tell.